Yeah, look, so it's 8:27 a.m. So we're starting a little later than normal. But nevertheless, we're gonna go get this workout. Afterwards, come back. We're gonna get some work done. Myself, some of the fellas, we're gonna go to TJ, spend a couple hours there, get some work done, grab some lunch, come right back. Towards the end of the day, we actually gotta fly back to Northern California. So stay tuned.
Even after all this time, I can't let go, I can't let go. So even after all this time, I can't let go, I can't let go. In the darkness I still see the light. Even after all this time, you show me what it takes to love. Yeah.
So we're on our way to TJ, which is, look, it's from where we live in San Diego, it's about 15 minutes away, so it's very convenient. But it's 11:30. So we're gonna go visit one of our brothers that lives there. That's what we're doing next.
I burn up. Even after all this time, I can't let go, I can't let go. So even after all this time, I can't let go, I can't let go. In the darkness I still see the light. Even after all this time,
Hey, what's going on with you? Isaac is part of our company. I'm not even gonna say part of a company. He is a huge role in the company that keeps it going, that has allowed it to grow, and he's one that always gives us a reality check every single Monday. As far as like, man, look, like if he sees that we're not producing or we're not, if we're not producing to our full potential, he's one that will quickly like check you as far as like, bro, I know, I can guarantee you that with the resources and tools that you have in the States, you could do a lot better than that. And so it allows you to just light that fuel behind you and remind you that there's a lot more that we can do with what we have. Even our owner of the company, met him 10 years ago. 10 years ago?
Wait, Andy?
Yeah.
Actually, I was doing Uber
Yeah?
part-time. Well, on my spare time, actually, because, I was like, I'm not going to waste time. I'm doing my business activities, and I'm just going to go drive, make some money. So I get an Uber call, and I go pick him up. We just start chatting. It was like, I was listening to Grant Cardone. So I was listening to one of his books. I think it was 10X, or another book of his. And then we just start chatting, and it's like, hey. And then he was like, hey, you want to come and hang out with us? And I was like, nah, man, I got to go hustle. I got to work. And then he was like, all right. So we switched IGs, then we switched numbers, and then we kept in touch. And every time Andy would come down, he would just hit me up. Like, pick him up at the border, take him to the airport, or when he was just coming to hang out. And that's how we met. And we met, I think it was 2018. 2017, 2018. And then we just chatted, and he was like, hey, one day we're going to work together. I was like, hey, let's do it. And so, long story short, we ended up working together. Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Isaac said it all.
Grew up I was born in Oaxaca, Mexico, and I was taken to the U.S. when I was 6 years old. I was there until I was 25. I was there for 19 years, and in 2011, I was traveling up north from San Diego to Temecula, and on our way there was a immigration checkpoint. Long story short, they asked for documents. At that time, I was undocumented, so I needed to make a decision. They asked me if I wanted to fight my case or if I wanted to sign my voluntary departure. At the time, I was engaged to a U.S. citizen, so my best case scenario, according to my attorneys, was to sign my voluntary departure, leave the U.S., come back to Mexico, get married in Mexico, and then worst case scenario, get married in Mexico, and worst case scenario, I was gonna go back within a year and a half. A week away from the wedding, we broke up, and I ended up staying in Mexico. I've been here for 10 years, going on 11 years. The very beginning was really tough. You know, not having that emotional support from your family, your friends, people that you know, starting from scratch. And then you add on top of that a broken heart. So it was really, really tough in the very beginning. What changed everything was that in December of 2012, I don't know which Saturday, but I was in a Starbucks in Playas de Tijuana. And in this Starbucks, I was crying. I had my head against the window, and I was just crying and crying and crying. And this lady approaches me, and she was like, "Hey, you don't have to tell me anything. All you have to do is just, get up and hug me." So I got up and I hugged her, and it was like a God-sent angel, because at that very moment I realized I couldn't continue that way. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to make the best of my time here. I'm going to get to work. I'm going to do whatever I need to do, but I need to take advantage of the time that I'm going to be here and do something productive out of it. So that's what I did. I think my biggest difference was my faith in God. But my faith in God, I knew that this was temporary. I knew that I was going to be depressed for a while. I knew that the tough times weren't going to last forever. The thing that made the whole difference was my faith in God, without a doubt. That tough times don't last. That everything in life is temporary. If you're happy, it's temporary. If you're having success, it's temporary. If you're depressed, it's temporary. If you've just failed in business or whatever, is temporary. That nothing lasts forever. So whatever situation you might be facing, let's just say you're facing a tough situation like I did, hey, it's temporary.
What message do you have for anyone that has the privilege of being in America?
Yeah, if you don't have seven figures in your bank account, you need to get working because you have a great opportunity, in living in the best country in the world, with all the resources, with everything that you need to be successful. And if you're not, achieving that success that you want, it's not on the government. You can't blame it on the economy. You can't blame it on anyone else but you. And you need to take responsibility of where you're at today. So if where you're at today is not fulfilling, it's not where you want to be, it's you just got to look up in the mirror and say, you know what, that's the guy that you need to hold accountable to every single day, because anywhere else in the world, it's not as easy as it is back in the States. A mentor of mine once told me a story about Harriet Tubman. She would tell the slaves, "Hey, you know what? If you come with me, it's going to take effort, it's going to take work, but within 6 to 10 months, we're going to be, we're going to go underground railroad, and we're going to fight. We're going to keep going, but we're going to get to Canada, and we're going to be free. We're going to have our own land. We're going to be able to marry who we want to marry. We're going to be free." But there were two types of slaves in the plantations. One who said, "You know what? The last time somebody got caught trying to escape the plantation, you know what happened to them? They hung them in front of us so that nobody would try to do that again." But then there was another type of slave that said, "You know what? I'd rather die wanting my freedom than die as a slave." There's a lot of immigrants right now trying to get to the States. They go for days and weeks just trying to get to the States so that they can have an opportunity. People are crossing the border right now 6-7 minutes away from here trying to get to the States for an opportunity. There's people all over the world trying to get to the United States. Why? Because it represents freedom. Because they just want an opportunity. It's not even guaranteed, but they just want an opportunity. And so I think that many of the times the human mind seeks for comfort, seeks for complacency. It just wants to survive. It doesn't want to thrive. It doesn't want to do the extra work. It doesn't want to get up early. It doesn't want to, put in the hours, put in the work. It's easy to be successful, but it's easier not to. It's easy to wake up early in the morning, but it's easier not to. It's easy to put in the work, but it's just easier to just, take a day off, do less work. So I think there just got to be you got to transform the blueprint that we have in our minds to be able to escape that mindset of a slave.
So, look, we're back from TJ, back in San Diego. Do you guys see why I wanted you guys to meet Isaac? He has an amazing story that a lot of us can relate to, and I know I can when it comes to, my parents coming from Mexico to the United States for a better life, and this individual is just preaching the fact that we're so blessed and fortunate to be in the States. So this is why I wanted you guys to meet Isaac. 7:38, we got about an hour. We actually got a flight back to San Jose in just about an hour, and we'll take you guys on this journey, man. So enjoy.
Proud member of One World Alliance, we would like to thank you for flying with us today. Thank you once again for flying with us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon. You have a good evening.